This video is not intended for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Humanity, look how far you've fallen.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and fury of anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brother.
Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Lukey. Good morning, everyone. How is everyone out there doing on this fine, thirsty Thursday morning? Good morning, Chris Persian, Mark the infinitely tired, the Bash Brother Wrenches are here, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to Purple Valkyrie. Good morning to Just Another Red Shirt. Brightest Day, Stuart Mitchell. Good morning, Dave G. Sound. Good morning to Keely Chow. Roll Tide, Keely, Roll Tide. Project Storytime. Good morning, Josh. Good morning to Larry. Good morning to the lady, Arwen Avalon. Good morning, Arwen. Stephen Glenn. Good morning, sir. Good morning to Daryl the Derelict. How are you doing, brother? Thank you so much for being here. Pat S. Hail, Pat S. Good morning. Good morning to my brother from another mother, Adega Outlaw. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys have had a great week. We've got one more day before we check out and get out of here and head to Retropalooza. And I just wanted to spend it hanging out with each and every one of you, talking about what's been going on, what's been happening out there, especially with the La La crew, the ones that are, off in another reality in La La Land. They have absolutely lost their effing minds. We've got all kinds of crap going on. One of the things I saw yesterday was Ruby Rose going after the CW because of conditions on Batwoman. And then Warner Brothers fires back and says all of what's going on in her mind is revisionist history. Don't you love it when SJWs start eating each other? Because that is exactly what's happening. The SJWs over at the CW and the SJW herself, Ruby Rose, have turned on each other and are starting to eat each other. I absolutely love that. I love it when they go after each other. It's not us saying something. It's not us fighting back. They're fighting with each other. Because as they turn on each other, their focus is on each other. It's not on us. They're not pointing their fingers at us. They're not blaming us. They're not saying we're all ist, obes, Yahtzees, and all other kinds of shit. They're eating each other alive. And that's what they need to do. That is exactly what they need to do. Purple Valkyrie, they will always turn on each other in the end. They will always turn on each other in the end. And I love it when I see shit like that. I love it when a writer for Superman stands up and walks the fuck out of DC Comics and goes, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm not writing this shit. I'm not doing this. I'm not having any part in it. I'm not having any part in what you're doing to Superman. I'm not having any part in how you're changing the character. I'm not having any part how you're flushing history down the toilet. I love it when I see that shit. I absolutely love it when I see that shit. Let them go after each other. Let them tear each other apart. Let the people that know this is all bullshit stand up and say, we're not going to take it anymore. We're not going to do this shit anymore. We're not going to write for you anymore. We're not going to have anything to do with you anymore. We're tired of it because we, the fans, the people that have been getting this by the truckload, we're tired of it. Don't tell me, oh, well, the comic industry's fine when all the stores are closing. Don't tell me that the business is great when store after store after store, when all the mom and pops are closing and they're gone and they're dying off. Project Storytime, as artist contracts start to end, I think we'll see more and more people jump ship. That's exactly what's going to happen. That is exactly what's going to happen, because the blue-haired Landwells that have taken over, they're like, "Oh my God, we can do this." They're going to stay. They're embedded like ticks. They're not going anywhere. But the normal people, the regular everyday people, the people that love doing what they do, they're going to leave. The people that love doing what they do are going to leave. Because guess what? If those blue-haired Landwells actually loved doing what they were doing, they'd be doing something else. Because they wouldn't be doing this. Because all they've done is come in and ruined it for everyone else. I've mentioned this before. The D&D interview with this woman. How she used to go by the guys playing D&D in high school, and she used to spit on them and talk to them like they were pieces of shit, and they were stupid, and they were dorks, and they were geeks, and they were idiots for playing this stupid ass game. Then she got into it with her, quote, partner after she got divorced. And now the game has to change to suit her. How stuck up your own ass do you have to be to go, well, I don't like the way the orcs are portrayed. I don't like the way the orcs are treated because that makes me feel like I'm being persecuted. I don't like that. So the game has to change to suit my needs, to suit the way I feel. I'm too much of a fucking snowflake to play the game like everybody else. Well, that's what's happened in DC Comics. That's what happened over at Marvel. We're too fucking fragile to write and draw the characters the way they've always been drawn. We've got to do it our way. And if we don't get our way, we're going to throw a little hissy fit. And we're going to point our fingers at all of you. And we're going to call you names. We're going to call you Is and Ohs and Yahtzees. We're going to call you names because that's what we used to do back in the day when we didn't get our way. But Loki, Kelly Sue DeConnick told us that DC informed her 30K ship comics is a hit these days and not a failure. That's a fucking failure. I'm sorry. They put the my in myopic. I don't like it, so change it to make me feel better. No, we can't have a girl dancing in her underwear on Charlie's Angels. We can't have cool chicks that we all like. We've got to have snobby ass fucking princess snowflakes that are up their own ass. Nope. I've got to be special. I've got to be special. And if I don't get the attention I want, I'm going to throw a hissy fit. Wow. By all means, go throw a hissy fit. Go act like an ass. Go do whatever. Just don't do it here. I love it when I hear things like Ethan Van Sciver talking about the real reason Superman stands for a better tomorrow. I love it when I hear something like that. Why? Because he's going to call it like he sees it. He's not going to bullshit. He's not going to give you a fake take. He's going to give you exactly what is going on. Isn't that amazing? Why? Why? Because these fucks have to virtue signal to something. All of them do. Every single one of them have to virtue signal to something. And we did, Dean Krantz. For years, we did. I ran a Star Trek RP group. We did Star Trek D&D pretty much for years. We came up with our own stories, our own adventures, our own characters. We didn't take over ones that were already written and change them to suit the way we wanted them to be. We had our own stories. We had our own adventures. It's one of the reasons why Discovery and all the rest of that shit hurts so bad, because I know how good it could be. But they're all up their own ass with their own bullshit. I've never met a bigger group of land whales that like to sniff its own farts. Flatulence. I don't get it. I don't get it. Why? As I get ready, as I pack, as I get, go to the barber, I'm going to be thinking about these things. As I get ready for the trip tomorrow, I'm like, why do they feel the need to change it all? Is it just an echo chamber? No, I haven't, Shum. All the Karens at the HOA. I love pen and paper. Sir Persalot. I love pen and paper. I've got books. I'll take a picture. I'll take a picture and I'll post it in Valhalla. I'll post it on, I've got the old, original second D&D rule book, the Dungeon Master guides. I've got Vampire the Masquerade. I've got BattleTech. I've got Warhammer Old World. I've got all kinds of shit that I used to love playing back in the day. I've got Star Trek RP books, Star Trek The Next Generation and DS9. I love that. What's not to love? They love the taste of their own buttholes. True story, Loki. I'm at a loss, is Osmolody. I'm at a loss, sir. They like the smell of their own farts, and they like the taste of their own buttholes. It's true. True story. I agree. I don't get it. Truth, justice, and the American way. I mean, it's not that hard of a thing. And it's not that hard of a thing to keep at DC Comics. How do you lose that? How do you lose that? Yeah, Mark, the one I've got is the one with the devil on the front. He's holding the girl, the female priestess in one hand. He's got a sword in the other. And then you've got like the warriors below him, all looking up at him like they're ready to fight him. That's the one I've got. Misery loves company. Is that it? Is it that easy? Is it that easy? That they just love their own company? Or are they just trying to infect everything? like a plague. I think of them like the Borg almost, except I don't give them that much power. They're just regurgitating the same shit over and over and over again. You will do it our way, or we will cancel you. Resistance is futile. You're going to do it our way, or we'll cancel you. Resistance is futile. No HOA, yeah, no HOA, fuck that. Loki just got a complete bundle of Mutant Chronicle P&P. I want to try, but can't find a group. Yeah, D&D Shadowrun, yes. Vampire the Masquerade, yes. Shadowrun. I didn't even think about Shadowrun. Battletech, hell yeah. God, I love that shit. 3.5. And you know what? No one's busting anybody's balls. Yeah, how do you lose that? How do you lose that? How do you fucking lose truth, justice, and the American way? How do you not have that on tap? That's Superman. They coined the phrase and they don't have the rights to say it. How do you lose that? Do you know how you lose that? By being so up your own ass, you don't notice it's missing. Stephen Glenn with a $20 super chat. The feelings of offense by these snowflakes mean that everyone else's freedoms have to be adjusted. They can take their cancel culture wokeness and shove it where the sun doesn't shine. Hilda Stone Loki and agree 100%. Thank you so very much, Stephen Glenn. Thank you so very much. It's absolutely unbelievable. And we're going to hit you with a skull, Stephen. Since I'm feeling feisty this morning, since I'm feeling randy, we'll hit you with $1, brother. Skull!
A dollar? I've never seen a dollar. Nobody's got a dollar. Let us see the dollar. There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
That's a dollar bill. As I get ready to leave and represent Valhalla in Dallas, I'm just amazed that this is where we're at. This is what we're looking at. This is what is just, it just permeates out of DC Comics. We could give a shit less about truth, justice, and the American way. We give a shit less about what we said in the past about how wonderful Ruby Rose was and how we were up her ass because we wanted to be woke little snowflakes. Now that we're not doing that anymore, oh, it's just revisionist history. It's okay. Nothing happened. Nothing happened to Ruby Rose. It's just revisionist history. She never got hurt on the set of Batman. She never got hurt. That's fact, right? Right? Never happened. Revisionist history. Oh, wait. She was hurt. Holy shit. There was an accident on set. Oh my God. I totally forgot. Yeah. Guess it's not revisionist history. Punk Waddle with the $5 super chat. For the way we learn to distrust anyone who preaches such a hard line yet tramples all over it. Authority and respect are earned or lost the same way. The same way. If I jumped on here and I made unfounded accusations, if I acted like a fucking douche, I would lose respect. People would lose respect. People would walk. If I got on here and started calling my audience cunts, if I got on here and started calling my audience dumbasses or idiots or whatever, I would lose respect, and I would lose respect fast. And suddenly, Mornings of Mischief would be a lot quieter in the morning than it is now. Because it would die. I would never mistreat my friends that way. I would never mistreat the fellowship that way. I would never, ever mistreat any of you that way. because I have respect for all of you, just like you have respect for me. The door swings both ways, and that is what these people have forgotten. Thank you so much, Punk Waddle, for your $5 super chat. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla, and we're going to start a fire this morning. Skol! It goes beyond common courtesy. It goes beyond respecting the people that pay you to do what you do. It goes beyond fans. Because guess what? A lot of us have been with DC Comics since the beginning. A lot of us have been with DC Comics since we started reading and looking at comics and going, wow. A lot of us have been there the first time we threw a cape on. Do you remember that? Do you remember taking a blanket? Do you remember taking something and tying it around your neck and running around and acting like you could fly, or acting like you were Batman or something? That's how deep that goes. And you know what they've said? They've looked you straight in the eyes and they've said, we don't care. I would never do that to my audience. I would never do that to the people that read my work. I would never do that to the friends and the family that have been there from the beginning. And you shouldn't. And there are people out there, sadly, that do. There are people out there that sadly point their fingers in each and every one of you and call you something. Threaten to go tell on you. Speaker for the dead. Hell yes, brother. I was the baddest little kid in a bath towel you ever saw. That's right. That's right, brother. And I could fly. I could fly off anything. I was more danger to myself than anyone else, because I would jump down the stairs. I would jump off the couch. I would do whatever because I could fly. They don't care about any of that. And they don't care about making money. When they say something like 30,000 copies sold as a hit, when you go to these comic book stores and they're desperate for a sale, something's wrong. Something is seriously wrong. When they've got all of the old stock front and center and all the new stock is like back in the back, something is wrong. Stephen Glenn with a $10 super chat. Thank you so very much, Stephen. He says, we all have to stand up to this BS. We are not alone in this fight. We all stand together. They want to take down all our heroes so that we have no one to look to for goodness, truth, and freedom. I absolutely positively agree, brother. I absolutely positively agree. And thank you so very much, Stephen Glenn, for that $10 super chat. We have to stand tall. Each and every one of us has to stand up and say, no, we're not going to let this happen. No, we aren't going to take this bullshit. No, we aren't going to buy your damn books. And I'll add to that with this. Thank you, Stephen. Skol!
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brother.
Sir Persilot brings up an interesting point. I'm going to add to it, but I want to read this out. Loki, when you think this shit is bad, wait till the last generations who know how the offline world was die out in this multimedia woke ultra-capitalist rule unopposed. This is where I will disagree with this. The line changes And those that have been there pointing their fingers at us are going to have the fingers pointed back at them by another generation and go, no, the problem here is you. It will flip back. Everything's like a seesaw. And what you've seen over the past couple of years is a push to keep that seesaw from leaning back against it. Everything is a desperate act to keep that seesaw from coming back to where it should be. And the more they push against that, the more it's going to rail against them, because we are standing up, we are speaking out, and we're saying we're not going to take this shit. Sagadorf 9 with $2 super chat. When a reprint of a 30-year-old comic outsells, yes, absolutely, positively correct. And that's what has to keep happening. When a 30-year-old book outsells something new, there is a problem. There is a problem. And this comes straight from the woman that owns the comic book store that I visit. All the new stuff sits here. All the old stock sells. I can't keep it in stock, especially the novellas. So like Death of Superman, World Without a Superman, Batman, the Bat Who Laughs, Batman Long Halloween, all the novellas, they cannot keep in stock. The books, the compilation books, they can't keep in stock because people are reading them in droves. They're reading the books. Why? Because you can go down and you can get that book for $19.99. You don't have to search. You don't have to get part of it. You don't have to get one or two issues and then come back and look for more. You get the whole book right there. You can get Nightfall, Part 1. It's huge. I almost bought it the last time I was there. If it hadn't been $40, I would have bought it. Nightfall, Part 1. But it's huge. It's massive. Is it worth $40? Yeah. Batman Year 1. Dark Knight Returns. Yes. That is exactly what I'm talking about. You get the whole story right there. And people are buying it. They're just not buying any of the new crap. It just sits there. She said she sells more Dynamite than she does DC or Marvel. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine going into a comic book store where Dynamite Comics is outselling DC and Marvel? You used to go into a comic book store and you'd have to ask them, do you have like special order shit? Like if you wanted like Cyberfrog, even the latest Cyberfrog, the one that's being sold, they didn't have that shit. They do now. They have copies now just for people like us that go in there and go, no, we don't want the mainstream bullshit. We want to support something else. They have those books because that's what people are buying. They're buying Dynamite. They're buying Indiegogos. They're getting copies of Indiegogo comics. Stuff coming out of Indiegogo. They're getting Cyberfrog. They're getting Ethan's book. They're getting stuff like Wart the Wizard. Pirate Queen. I never thought I'd see the day. I really didn't. The pendulum is swinging, ladies and gentlemen. The pendulum is swinging back. People are standing up and saying, we're tired of all this shit. We're tired of dealing with it. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. I will happily ride off into the sunset if we get our entertainment back. If we get our entertainment back, I will happily ride off into the sunset. My job is done. Valhalla has done what it set out to do. Stand up and protect what you love. If they're destroying it, if it's being eaten from the inside out, you have two choices. Well, you really have three. You can go with the flow. You can leave. Or you can stand up and say, I have had it with this shit. This shit needs to change. And if they don't listen, leave. Go somewhere else and work for someone else. Thank you, Man Squatch. Thank you, brother. It means everything to hear something like that. Thank you. It's a fight. And it's a fight that we will stand up and we will charge into battle. Mark Anthony Tower. When I worked at Gold Dragon Comics in the 90s, indies were there, but special orders. Dark Horse was becoming the third option with Image. Manga was almost non-existent unless you ordered it. You had to order that shit back then. You know what I saw? It absolutely blew my mind. It was a Metal Gear Solid #1. And it was a special book. $100. I couldn't, not with Retropalooza coming up. I couldn't afford it. But I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back and look for it, and hopefully they still have it. It was back in the glass case because it was so expensive. But I see something like that, and I see how much attention it gets. And I'm like, yes, this is exactly what we need, not this other shit. Daryl the Derelict with $2 super chat. Stand for what you love. Long live the fighters. Long live the fighters, brother. I'll hit you with it. Skull!
Long live the fighters!
Yeah, I saw a Transformers manga that I was absolutely blown away by. I bought that. I saw the Metal Gear one. I'm gonna go back and try and get that. I'm hoping it's still there. I am. After some point after Retropalooza happens. So it's gonna be me, Mike, and Nicholas Glenn at Retropalooza. And we're gonna burn Dallas down. We're gonna burn fucking Dallas down. It's gonna be Daryl's gonna be there. Daryl the Derelict's gonna be there. It's gonna be absolutely crazy. I have a theory. The less leadership cares about projects, the better it is. Example is Doom Patrol, treated like a throwaway and filmed in Georgia. Solid characters and interesting stories. How many of you, raise your hands, throw one, whatever you want to do. Raise your hands, throw one, whatever. How many of you want to see something with a good story? And that's just good story, good characters. 2 asks. It's all we're asking for. It's all we're fucking asking for. Throw 1 in chat if that's what you want. Good story, good characters. It's all we want. Is something with a good story and good characters. Project Storytime, Bodega Outlaw, Trinoculus P, Gologo 13, Mansquatch, Louis Sparrow, Sherry, Darth Haster, Dean Krantz, Keely Chow, Roll Tide Brothers, Stephen Glenn, Psychodorf 9, Daryl the Derelict, Project Storytime, Nearsighted Cyclops, Mark Damon Blue Tired, Punk Waddle, Chris Persia, Project Storytime 42, Shane Nolan, that's all we want. Andrew 46 and 2, Arwen Avalon, Just Another Redshirt, Archer Collin. It's all we ever asked for. It's all we want. Pod Racing Palpatine. Fenrir Fire. Hail Lair Rose. Fenrir Fire. Good morning, everybody. Old Gamer 72. Cutlass 1. All we want is something with a good story and good characters. It's all we want. Is that too much to ask? Apparently it is. Apparently it is. When you start coming out with characters like Snowflake and Safe Space. What in the hell is wrong with you people? All we want is some good characters and a good story. You would think that Disney would be on the forefront of that Disney would be leading the charge into good story and good characters. Instead, it's, how are we going to create this character? Well, let's focus on who they like to bang and their gender pronouns. And that's it, man, Squatch. They can't write good characters because they don't see people beyond their labels. They can't see people beyond their labels. Do you think when I see Mexican Iron Man in the chat, I've got to see someone exactly like me? No. That's right. That's all they see. Oh, well, the people buying this book have to be these people. So we're going to make it for these people. Mark Dan for the title. I hated Chris Claremont back in the late 80s because of what he did to the classic X-Men lineup. But now I miss stories like that because it evolved the characters and made them multifaceted. Everyone has pronouns, but I'm broke and can't afford to pay professional nouns. I have amateur nouns. Dega Outlaw. You cannot ask people as foolish, self-absorbed, and terrified of life to be able to make something good or heroic. They only see their own weaknesses and try to portray it as normal and acceptable. I'm going to read that again because it is good. And it hits the point. It hits the nail on the head. You cannot ask people as foolish, self-absorbed, and terrified of life as they are to be able to make something good and heroic. They only see their own weakness and try to portray it as normal and acceptable. Ina Dega, again, hits the nail squarely on the head. They are craving the praise from those that don't buy their product. Shockwave. Support school strikes for climate change. You know what? If you believe in climate change and you want to support it, if you believe that we're nuking the entire planet and you want to support it, if you believe that the human race needs to be expunged off of planet Earth to save the planet, it's your right to believe that. I could really give a shit less what you believe. If you want to believe that we're all Isobs and Yahtzees, by all means, you're wrong. Because I know these people. I know these people that walk through those doors in the morning, grab a cup of coffee, and go, "Hey, Loki, what's going on?" Stephen Glenn, Loki Mexican Iron Man, Nick's Mercedes is in the shop with the coolant leak. He will not be able to make Dallas. Sorry to say. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Papa Glenn. I am. I'm keeping my fingers crossed and hoping Nick can make it. I really am. I'm hoping they get that car done quick. Something happens and they have to shoot it to the front of the line and he's able to make it. So basically, they didn't really like the original product, so they changed the product to sell to other people who don't really like the product. That's right. That's right. And that's exactly what Disney did to Star Wars. They changed the product to suit people that never bought the product. It's the craziest shit you've ever heard. It is. But they think they can change the way everything works to suit their needs. Chris Spurs, Loki, I don't understand Disney. The purchase male-dominated IPs to bring boys to Disney franchises, then they deconstruct, gender swap, or self-insert themselves, driving away the male fans they wanted. Absolutely. Absolutely, because they want the male fans, and they're going to keep some soy beta fans. They are. There's soy boys out there. Remember that couple? Remember that couple that did the Star Wars channel? And the woman's like, Rey is like the ultimate female warrior. And she looks at him and he's like, mm-hmm. And she's like, these new movies represent a precedent in Star Wars and everyone should watch them. And she looks at him and he's like, mm-hmm, and nods and does his little mm-hmm. That's what they want. That's the kind of guys they want to bring in to Disney. They don't want the fan that gets excited about the next Star Wars book. They don't want the fan that gets excited about the newest lightsaber on sale. They want the guy that sits there and nods his head and looks down at the floor and goes, mm-hmm, when his woman speaks. That's the kind of guy they want at Disney. They don't want the fans that have loved that product. They want that. There are days when I see and hear some of the things those people put out in the world. I challenge the meteor, alien overlords, or extra-dimensional invaders to speed up the timeline. I agree. Mexican Iron Man with the $9.99 super chat. Thank you so very much, brother. He says, I believe in climate change. I'm committed to do my part to change my climate to be open and inviting to smoking hot redheads and ensure the species does not become extinct. Now accepting applications. Mexican Iron Man wants a couple of little redheaded mijos in the future. Absolutely, he does. Ebby Geek, let's talk with the $10 super chat. They say phobia like they know its meaning. They like to use it as a fallacy to shut up speech. What shocked them is we are not backing down and not kneeling to their will. They can't stand it. I absolutely agree. I agree with both of those. We need to keep the redheads in the population. We need to raise that percentage level up. I'm sure Mexican Iron Man can help with that. And we're not going to stand for their shit, and we're not going to take a knee. Thank you both so very much for your super chats, Mexican Iron Man and MB Geek. You guys keep the fires of Valhalla burning bright. And we're going to send out the army this morning. Skol! We have burned this motherfucker to the ground this morning. Thank you all so very much. No, I'm not ending the show quite yet, but thank you. Seriously, thank you. These are the mornings that I'm like, wow, I'm amazed. We all want good entertainment. It's what we want. Well, some of them want some other things like redheads. Married a redhead, and one of my daughter, Stay Away Mexican Iron Man, is a redhead. One of his daughters are redheads. Loki, in Challenge the Patriarchy, these people are glorifying women having the worst traits of men 70 years ago. You know what we're going to do? Speaking of patriarchy, next Thursday, we're going to have a little Halloween show. And we're going to talk about some of the best horror movies that have ever been made. I'm getting my list of people to invite ready. We're going to do it 1 week from today. Have a little horror show. I will have a list made up and we'll have guest invites. And we're just going to talk about horror. Especially we're going to talk about the new Halloween Kills movie. Since we're talking about patriarchy, we've got to talk about the matriarchy as well, don't we? And apparently Jamie Lee Curtis is the head of the matriarchy. And don't you dare go against her. You'll get written out of those movies. Shum! Brought to you today by Mexican Iron Man's Rabbit Chicken Emporium. Today's special is a rabbit chicken chimichanga with Fanta salsa, rice, beans, and a large drink. Only $8.99. Only $8.99. I don't remember what that was on, but I remember it. It's only $8.99. Watched Halloween Kills last night. Holy shit. Gingers matter. That's right. Gingers matter. Keep the redhead population alive. Keep it above 5%. Do not let Hollywood and the rest of the world try and take out the redhead population. Let me guess, the movies where all the men are killed. There's some bitches that go down too, Dave G Sound. It happened. There's a lot of people go down. It's like half the damn town. Feeling a lot of redhead appreciation around here. Well, it's bullshit, Arwen, what they've done, what they've tried to do, how they've tried to erase redheads. You're talking about a very small portion of the world as redheads. There's no reason to turn your anger on the redheads just because they're redheads. There's no reason to write redheads out of movies and television because they're redheads. You know what? I was talking to somebody the other day. I was having this conversation, and there's always been a how do I put this? A passion for redheads. A passion for redheads. Men have always looked at redheads and been like, ooh la la, the ginger on the island. There's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with gingers being a sex symbol. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Hollywood, though, sees something wrong with that. A Dag Outlaw married a redhead who hides it blonde. One thing she cannot hide is her fire. That's right. Hollywood made redheads a sex symbol. And now Hollywood is trying to erase redheads because they're a sex symbol. Probably because some fucking nasty hoe in Hollywood hates the fact that redheads are looked at like a sex symbol. And it's that simple. We're going to get rid of redheads in Hollywood because they can't be a sex symbol. Because we're upset about it. That's fucked. That is absolutely fucked. They're like trying to erase redheads. It's like pouring gas on a fire. We will strike with mighty vengeance and furious anger. That's right. We will. They are trying to erase everything you love and care about. We're not going to let that happen. Whether we have to hold on to our physical media, whether we have to keep it held up in our memories, whether we have to have our comic books, our shirts, our movies, our games, and keep them unaltered, we will. We will find a way. Because that's what we do. And when they sit there and say, well, you're just afraid of change, we can look back at them and say, no, you're just afraid of what things were. You're trying to be the police. We're not going to have that. We're not going to put up with that. We judge what we find acceptable in our media, in our entertainment. If you don't like it, don't watch it. If you don't like it, don't read it. If you don't like, don't deal with it. I don't like your new bullshit comics. I don't like your new Superman Jonathan Kent. So guess what? I don't read it. I don't buy it. I don't buy your product. I don't spend my money on it. I will find places elsewhere to spend my money on. I will buy retro games. I will buy old movies. I will buy old entertainment, old comic books. I will not buy your new shit. Mexican Iron Man Loki, you can count on me to save the redheads. My home and Iron Man lair shall provide a safe space to any smoking hot redhead seeking safe harbor. Remember that, ladies. And when he's lowering down the basket saying he puts the lotion on its skin, remember that. New games are fine. Metroid Dread is freaking great. Just got the gravity suit. You know what I've been playing lately? I've been playing Subverse. Go look that one up. So, the road to Dallas. For me, Mexican Iron Man. Hopefully Nick gets his car in time and he's able to make it. I'm hoping. We got our fingers crossed that Nick gets his car back in time and he's able to make it. I cannot wait for this weekend. I can't wait for this weekend because I need this weekend. I need to get out of here. I need to get on the road. I've got a road mix all ready to listen to that I've just been adding songs to because I want to be in the car. I want to be in the car for 4 hours driving. It's fun. I want to drive there. I don't want to take a damn plane. I want to cruise, open roads, get to Dallas, hang out, have a good time. MB Geek, let's talk with $5 super chat. We need gingers and more women with freckles. Because, hey, despite what they think, lots of men find freckles sexy as hell. Me included. I love freckles. Absolutely. MB Geek, let's talk. Thank you so very much, brother. And to all of you that have supported Mornings of Mischief, for all of you that are here in the mornings, for all of you that have been hanging out this morning, we're going to send out the army this morning. Skull! All right, everybody. Thank you so very much for being here. Thank you for all the support. I cannot wait to get to Dallas and represent Valhalla. All of you have a great one. Take care. Oh shit. Brightest day. $4.99 super chat. All this talk of gingers. Y'all are going to make me get myself in trouble at work. Thank you so very much, brother. Yes, we need more gingers. But I'm going to send you a blonde, brother. Skull! All right, everybody. Be excellent to each other. Take care. And always speak friend to enter. Goodbye, everybody.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.